Welcome back, lunatics. We are going to go through the 12 signs, the 12 lunar signs, and how they influence your emotions, what the shadow sides are, and how they affect your physical body. Now, the moon is the guardian of our inner world. It is the key to our understanding, our emotions, our instincts, the subconscious drives, and astrology, your natal sign reveals how you nurture and respond to your world emotionally, and even where you might experience some shadow work. But it doesn't stop there, because the moon influences extends to your body and connects to specific organs and physical functions. So let's explore the 12 lunar signs and uncover their mystery. The fiery emotional warrior, Aries moon. Their emotional response can be passionate, sometimes impulsive, but quick to react. Often feel emotions intensely, but they can let go just as fast. They thrive on independence and may struggle to ask for help. Their shadow side, they're prone to anger and impatience, and have a tendency to act without considering consequences. Emotional burnout can occur if they suppress their vulnerability. Their body connection. Now, Aries rules the head brain and can suffer from headaches, migraine, and often manifests when emotional stress is unprocessed. I'll go a little bit deeper into this into the next video, because I want to talk about the traditional Chinese meridians and how those also affect the head and brain. Now, if you are a Taurus, the earthy emotional anchor. Their emotional response is calm, steady, and deeply attached to comfort and security. Taurus moon people value stability and seek solace in nature, beauty, and all sensory pleasures. Their shadow side, though, can be quite stubborn and resistant to change. An overindulgence in material comfort they use as coping mechanisms. Because I know I love me a big comfy blanket, okay? Now, body connection of the moon in Taurus. Taurus rules the throat, neck, and thyroid, which is a surprise to me, because I would definitely think that the throat and the neck would automatically go to the Geminis, but it doesn't. Sore throats are prevalent. I remember growing up as a kid, I do not like to communicate. My moon, my third house is in the sign of Taurus, so my communication is very strict and stern. It's kind of to the point, and I hurt people's feelings a lot. So I've learned to cultivate that, but because I stopped communicating very well, to some degree, I wouldn't express myself, because they was like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Well, I'm sorry that you got your feelings hurt. So I had a lot of sore throats growing up, to say this, literally. So when your emotions are unbalanced, moon in Taurus or sun in Taurus or whatever you have in the sign of Taurus, and you're having some issues in the neck and throat area, do some breathing exercises or start expressing yourself verbally, even to yourself. You don't even have to tell that person. But nonetheless, let's continue. Now, the Gemini moons, the airy emotional messenger. Their emotional response is curious, communicative, and quick to analyze their feelings. They process emotions intellectually, sometimes avoiding the deeper introspection. Now, their emotional side, or their shadow side, is emotionally detached. They have a tendency to be inconsistent, and overthink rather than feel. The restlessness can lead to a shallow connections. So this can show up as hypervigilance. Now, this is not to say, their disclaimer, the things that I am saying in this video, please do not overly obsess over them. I know we live in a culture now where quick bites of information are damn near just as bad as the medical dictionary or Googling your symptoms. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. And if you're not, it's okay to not be okay. Okay? But process your emotions with a friend, family member, or a professional. Now, the body connection of Gemini. Gemini rules the lungs, expressive, the arms, expressive, and hands. Now, anxiety may manifest as shallow breathing or nervous tension in the upper body. And going back to a little bit of the meridians, lungs also, or the emotions, the lungs also, which makes sense, right? Emotions, expression. They aspiration, inspiration, inspiring. Nonetheless, those words that have to do with the lungs also tied to Gemini. Where do you have your Gemini placement? Do you have Gemini placements in your natal chart? The lung meridian runs the inside of the thumbs all the way up to here. So when there's grief, you're here and you don't, your voice starts to change. You have that timidity about you. But again, the breath work helps strengthen that vagal tone, that diaphragmatic breathing. It really helps strengthen and straighten you out. And so if you might feel those sensations in the lung meridian. And so you can just press on those. That's really good for it. Moving on. Cancer moon. Now, the lunar empaths. Cancer is at home in the moon. So the emotional response of a Cancer moon is deeply nurturing, sensitive, and eerily intuitive. Like, Cancer moons absorb the emotions of others and their need for emotional security to feel at peace. The shadow side of a moon in Cancer, they can be moody, they can be kind of clingy, and they can also be overprotective. They may struggle with letting go of the past. Now, as a caveat or another disclaimer, I have found that their overprotectiveness is not clinginess. Their inability to let go is them. They don't hold on to things like earth signs do. I feel like Cancer signs hold on to things that they gonna verbally jab you and talk shit later on in life. Like, they gonna remember everything that has ever occurred, ever, and they gonna give it back to you. And when they give it back to you, you're gonna be like, damn, how you remember that? You still talking about that? But I feel like, have the ability to still be around the people that a moon in Cancer. The moon in Cancer rules the stomach and the digestive system. That emotional stress can lead to appetite changes and stomach aches. Now, the radiant Leo, emotional performer. The emotion response, it would be warm, expressive, and eager for validation. Leo moons feel most alive when their creativity and emotions are appreciated. Now, their shadow side, however, is craving the attention to fulfill emotional voids, sometimes to the point of being arrogant, and dramatic outbursts when their needs are not met. And as a Leo moon myself, sips tea. Sips tea. A Leo moon rules the heart, the spine, and the upper back. And so I know a lot of times, like, I have, as a lunar Leo, I have some physical pains like here, and it feels so good when somebody rubs like just the top of their back, that soft, like I'm coughing, let me console you type rub. Cool. They aren't getting their needs met, like it just kind of like holds them up. The emotional strain can cause heart palpitations or back tension. The Virgo moon. The Virgo moon is the analytical emotional healer. Their emotional response is practical, detail-oriented, and nurturing through acts of service. Virgo moons need order and routine to feel emotionally secure. Now, their shadow side can be overly critical of themselves and, quite honestly, others. Perfectionism and emotional repression. The Virgo effect, whether it be shadow or not, is amazing, because that routine, in order to feel secure, I call it the Kobe effect, okay? The Kobe effect, Cat Williams effect. Who else is a Virgo? Y'all know some more Virgos, but I know Cat Williams and Kobe Bryant, definitely Virgos. And I think, no, T.I. is a Libra. And speaking of Libras, worry often consumes them. Let's get to the body connection of a moon in Virgo. Moon in Virgo rules the intestines and nervousness and the nervous system. Digestive issues or nervous tension can arise in the stomach when the lunar Virgos are stressed out. Now, a lunar moon are the harmonious emotional diplomats. Their emotional response can be charming, balanced, focused on maintaining the harmony in relationships, and they seek emotional peace through connection and beauty. The shadow side can be avoidance of conflict, indecisiveness, people pleasing at the expense of their own needs. Now, another disclaimer. Everything that I'm saying is not to the T. So don't go to your friends, see their chart, and say, this is you. It may have been them at one point of their lives. We all are in this roller coaster of life. And yeah, don't be so anal with information. I'm talking to myself. Cool, because Libra and their ability to seek harmony in relationships and keep emotional peace through connection and beauty, it makes it so cool that they rule the kidneys and the lower back. And I say that it's cool because that's the bladder. The bladder or the kidneys have the largest, well, you know what the bladder does. We know what the kidneys do, right? The kidneys filter water and they maintain their water balance for our heart. And the bladder is that position that kind of holds all of that water until we need to urinate it. Now, maintaining harmony in a relationship or in in society, maintaining relationships and harmony in relationships, it takes work. It takes a lot of work. And in the meridians, traditional Chinese meridians, I'll call them, the bladder or the kidneys have the largest. So when we feel, in my personal opinion, when we feel that urge to kind of push back or pull back or being pushed forward or that sensing, because water is very intelligent. And I feel like our water balance helps us navigate that emotional intelligence. Is like, oh, you know what? I shouldn't be here. Or there's, like, this vibe is off. Like, why is it off? It's the water balance giving you boundaries. Like, it's the coolest thing ever. But if you want to hear more about it, let me know in the comments. But for now, I'll continue. Stress can manifest as kidney imbalances or lower back pain. Now, the Scorpio moon is the intense emotional transformer. They are deep, passionate, and magnetic. Scorpio moons crave emotional depth and transformation and thrive in crises. When they say that they thrive in emotional depth, I believe that they push you to your emotional end to see how you will respond. And that is how they get to know the people in their lives. If they want to keep them, if they want to toss them, and they know where to place them. They play emotional chess very well. That is their shadow side. They may struggle with trusting people, but their connection to the body is also the bladder, the reproductive system, and stress for a lunar Scorpio can lead to issues in these areas or perhaps hormonal imbalances. Now, the Sagittarius moon in Sagittarius, are adventurous emotional explorers. Their emotional response is optimistic, loving, philosophical. Lunar Sagittarians seek emotional growth through exploration and learning. Now, their shadow side may be restlessness, emotional avoidance, and have a tendency to escape through travel or excessive optimism. Their connection to the body is that they rule the hips, thighs, and liver. Emotional stress may show up as hip pain or liver imbalances. A Capricorn moon is the grounded emotional strategist, okay? They are reserved, disciplined, and focused on the long-term goals. Capricorn moons process emotions practically and value responsibility. The shadow side, however, is emotional pessimism and fear of being vulnerable. They may feel unworthy if they're not achieving their goals. Their connection to the body, however, they rule the bones, joints, and knees. Stress can lead to joint pain and stiffness. The Aquarius moon, the visionary emotional maverick. They can be detached, innovative, and focused on the collective well-being. Aquarian moons process emotions through logic and big picture thinking. On the shadow side, though, they can be aloof emotionally, rebellious, and have a difficulty connecting on a personal level. They may prioritize ideas over feelings. The body connection, however, they rule the calves, the ankles, and the circulatory system. Poor circulation in the legs or discomfort may arise under stress. Pisces moon. They are the mystical, emotional dreamer. Compassionate, imaginative, and deeply empathetic. Pisces moons feel emotions fluidly and often connect to the spiritual realm. They can often experience victimhood or difficulty setting boundaries as they escape through their emotions. They can absorb the emotions of their environment to their detriment. As they rule the feet and the immune system, stress can weaken their immunity or cause foot discomfort. Overall, the moon's influence is a guiding light, illuminating the path to self-awareness. By understanding your natal moon, you can embrace your strengths, confront your shadows, and align your emotions with your body's wisdom. Yes, the stars hold the key. Will you unlock it? This has been another edition of Lunatic Talk with Luna Love. Peace out. See you next time.